Well, good morning, my friends, and welcome back. Cumberland Outdoorsman out here in the car getting ready to go to Walmart for another knife hunt. About a year ago, I featured this little knife here that was available through Walmart, and at the time they were practically sold out everywhere because they were so popular. This is the D2 Classic, as I like to call it, and you know, because it was so popular, they were sold out in so many different locations, and I thought that was the end of it. You know, I thought that was one run that they made, but I was wrong. They were once again made available by Walmart. Ozark Trail produced quite a few of these knives, and currently they're still available. And then a little while later they changed from this design, where the pocket clip was only to be used on one side. As you can see, there's no place there for it on the other side, to this design right here. Here you can see the pocket clip is for a right-handed carry, but you have the option now of changing it over and putting it on the other side. And they came in different color variations. This one here is the OD green, and they had a black one too, which I also have, and I think I featured that in one of my videos back about a year ago when these were available. But these are great little knives, you know, especially for the money. They come with steel liners that go all the way through. They have a ball bearing swivel for the blade, and the steel is very durable. I gotta say, I've used this one here every day. This is my everyday carry. I take it to work with me. I take it out in the woods with me. I've field dressed deer with it. I've cut through cardboard, wood, leather, you name it. This little knife has really held up. But now recently I've seen that Ozark Trail has a few other models available that they've introduced, so we're going to go check those out. We're going to go to one of the local Walmarts here, and if they don't have it, there's a few other super centers in the area, and we're going to look until we find them. So come along with me. Let's go on another Walmart knife hunt. Well guys, looks like we've arrived here at Walmart, and if I can find a parking spot here, we'll go in and see what they have. Okay, arriving here at the sporting goods counter, I see we have these D2 Classics still available. $9.97. And let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, and there's the new offering by Ozark Trail for $24.97. Let's see if we can pick up one of those. I see they've got two of them in here. And then there is one for $19.97. And then the black folder there for $9.97. They have several other knives here that are very interesting, but we're going to stick with Ozark Trail for now. And then here is the old Glacier knife. This one here was in a white handle a year ago, so we'll take one of those. Pick that up. Put that one in the cart. believe that was the last one we got there, but there's still several of these orange ones available here. Well guys, made it back home. This is a couple of days later because I was losing light the other evening and we had a lot of rain showers come through, and this is the first decent day that I had to come out here and present these new knives to you. And now, saying that, let me tell you about my experience. The first Walmart I went to were completely sold out. They had 0 Ozark Trail knives. I mean, they had a few of the cheaper ones in the little carousel stand, but other than that, they didn't have anything that I was really looking for. The second store I went to, they had everything except one, and the one that I was looking for they had in a display case, but they said they couldn't sell that one because it was a display model, but they would have another shipment coming in soon. They said, well, check the other Walmart. So I went over there, and sure enough, they had everything. They had just gotten a new shipment in, and they had all the different Ozark Trail offerings in stock. And what I found was kind of a surprise to me. The one that I've been carrying, as you well know, I made videos about this last year, was the orange D2 Classic, as I like to call it. Some people call it the Wug Out, whatever. But it's their 7.5 inch slide lock with a black blade. Now you can tell from looking at that knife that I've used it just about every day. I mean, the finish is starting to come off the blade, it's getting worn down. It's just been a really good knife, you know, a good companion. And like I say, I've carried it every day. I cut open packages, I whittle wood with it, I clean game with it, I take it fishing, you know, just a million different uses. And the knife has held up really well. I mean, really well. For 10 bucks, you still cannot beat this knife. And as you saw in the video, they're still available now, you know, in this color, but the new ones have a reversible clip where you can take this clip, take it off, and put it on the other side. This is still one of the first ones, you know, from the first run where you didn't have that option. But this is the first one that I featured, and I'm still carrying it. Then I found this knife here, which is pretty much the same thing. They call it the Sonder. It's a 7.5 inch folding knife, but it comes in a box instead of the blister package. And these have a black handle, okay, black scales on. They're still D2 steel, just like the originals. Slide lock, still just as smooth. Good looking knife, really. I really like the finish on that blade. Same design blade. Everything is exactly the same, only with black scales instead of orange. And by the way, at one time they offered the first one, the Classic, with black scales and also OD green scales. I think I've got that one on me here because I took it hunting this morning. Yeah, there it is. I do not know if they still have this one available, but I went ahead and bought one, and as you can see, they're both pretty much the same, only with a different finish on the blades. I just took this one out of the box, as you saw, so we'll check it for sharpness. I brought some paper out here with me, and we'll give it the old sharpness test. Yeah, I think it's going to pass, folks, but either way, as you can see, it's razor sharp from the factory. I mean, that's sharp. That's really sharp. Attractive looking knife. The only thing I don't see on here is where it was made in China. It does not say that on the blade at all. It does say D2 right there. right there at the base of the blade. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but we'll give it a test here. Take some more of this hard maple. And we'll whittle through the other side. Now this is not green maple, this is hard. Okay, this is dried, hard maple. And I'm telling you, it's cutting it like nobody's business. You can see the wood just flying off of that. I'll try to slow it down a little bit. I'm really bearing down hard on this, by the way. All right. Let's check it and see here. Still $10, folks. Good knives, I'm telling you. For the money, you can't beat them. You know, you really can't beat them. After the orange knife came out last year, and nobody could find one because they were all out of stock, everybody was scrambling to try to look for one. They came out with a little knife that came in one of these packages, and it had white scales, okay? And then this one here is the same knife, same offering, only with OD green scales. Now the price went up a little bit. Last year they were $5. This year they're like $6 and some change, almost $7 actually, but you know, everything goes up with time. Still a slide lock, still very slender design. Last year I had the white one, and I took it out of the package. I harvested a deer. I field dressed that deer, hung it up, skinned it, and then butchered it without sharpening that knife once. And it was still razor sharp. I mean, still sharp. For $5, folks. Let's see what it does right out of the package here. See if they still come sharp from the factory. I'm not sure what kind of steel this is. I think it's just a stainless steel, to be honest with you. Yeah, look at that. I mean, and I just took that out of the package, by the way. Slide lock, and with the new model now, the pocket clip is reversible. So there's that knife for, I think it was $6.97 or $6.87, something like that. I went ahead and bought 2 of these because I just like the OD green color. Okay, folks, I wanted to take this opportunity to put this little knife that I just bought a couple of days ago through a real life test, a real situation, something that an outdoorsman would be faced with, you know. Just this morning, I harvested this deer, and I just got done field dressing and skinning the entire deer with this little knife. This is that brand new D2 Sonder with the stainless steel looking blade, even though it's not stainless steel, it's D2. And I have not sharpened the knife. I haven't cleaned it. I haven't run it over a leather strop. I haven't run it over a steel, anything. It's still got the fat and some of the meat from that deer from where I just got done skinning it. So this is the true test. Okay, I got a piece of paper here. Let's see if it'll still shave paper. Look at that. Still pretty sharp. That's the level of sharpness that blade can retain even after putting it to the test, like skinning a deer, you know, and field dressing it and everything. it's probably still almost razor sharp. So let's try that. Let's see if it'll shave some of the hair off my arm here. There you go, folks. It's still razor sharp. And trust me, the hair on my arm is probably a little more coarse than most people's. So that's a true test right there. I don't know. You know, for $10 you just can't go wrong with this. Now I've got some other knives. I've got some buck knives, which are great knives, you know, don't get me wrong. I've got Kershaw, and I've got a Boker skinning blade, and I'm telling you that a lot of times by the time I get done, halfway done with a deer like this, I've got to resharpen the blade, you know. I'll bring a diamond stick out here and I'll run the edge over that diamond stick to get that keen edge back on it. But not this one. I went through the whole deer without sharpening it, and it's still sharp. Now I could take it inside, clean the fat and blood and everything off of it, and run it over a steel and get just a wicked edge back on it, you know. And that's what I started out with. It was really, really sharp. I mean, it was just incredibly sharp. I think it's D2 steel because it holds up really well, and you saw that from me cutting through really hard wood. You know, maple, once it gets seasoned, it's extremely tough. If you've ever whittled hardwood like that before, you know what I'm talking about. And I've seen other reviews on these knives, in fact even this new one here, and some of them are negative. Some of them are negative reviews. They don't like these knives. They say they're junk. Well, I have to wonder, did they really use them in a real life situation? Why are they saying they're junk? You know, I've got the orange knife still that I've carried for over a year. Carry it every day. Carry it to work. You know, I cut cardboard, plastic, cordage, leather, wood, you name it. And it's held up. And the action is still as good as this new knife. You know, it's got great action. But I wanted to bring this new one out here and use it on this deer and share my experience with you, because I think a lot of you guys, I really do, and that's the reason, you know, I bring good values to your attention, because if it works for me, I think it should work for you as well. Then for the finale, you know, for the knife that I was really looking for, this one right here, folks. They call this one the Elevation. And this one costs a little bit more. This one was like 25 bucks, but still not a bad price for what you're getting. I'll open the package here and show it to you. There it is. This is the outdoorsman's knife, let me tell you. I mean, this thing, it says quality all over it. It has G10 scales, has an anodized aluminum lanyard attachment there. Pocket clip is also reversible. Has the flip open design, just like the slide lock, but it's not a slide lock. It's a button lock. I mean, has great action. Super smooth. I mean, absolutely buttery smooth. And the steel in this one is 12C27 stainless steel. Good looking blade. This is a clip blade, where the other one was a drop point blade. This one here is a drop point. Okay? There you can see the difference. Pretty much the same finish. This one's probably a little bit shinier. Hard to say. So let's check this one. See how sharp it is from the factory. Now, I'm not saying all of these come this sharp, but this one here is absolutely wicked sharp. I mean, wicked sharp. You could shave a sleeping mouse with that and never wake him up. I mean, that knife is extremely sharp. That's just effortless. I'm cutting off little tiny strips, as you can see. Not a hitch. But you can pick up this knife and you can tell you've got good quality. It has full-length stainless steel liners. It's a little bit slimmer in design than this one. A little bit slimmer. This one still has the full-length liners, but this one here is a little bit narrower. The thumb studs on it are a little bit beefier, although they don't stick up quite as high. They're more flush with the handle. And now all these knives have steel bearings that the blade is mounted on. I mean, that is just so smooth. It almost feels like it's a spring assist. It pops up so easily. Good looking knife. Ozark Trail outdoor equipment. Let's test this one out. Let's see how well it holds an edge. We're going to peel the bark off of this one and whittle it down. All right. Let's check it, folks. That one there lost a little bit of the edge, but it's still plenty sharp. I think this type of steel is not quite as hard as D2, but it's easier to sharpen, I would say. If you're a fisherman or a hunter, you got to have a knife, you know. And if you can find a good quality knife for a decent price, then, you know, that's what you want to look for. And that's the reason I share it with you. So anyway, folks, check your local Walmart. Maybe they'll have these on hand. I went ahead and bought 2 of these because I just like the way they look. They have a little bit of a texture there on the handle. They're not slippery at all. Let's see if that camera will pick that up. I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of it's a little bit of a checkered pattern on the G10 handle. And you know, I don't know what else they can do to the knife to make it any better, really, for the price point they're selling them at. But for 25 bucks, it's a good knife. Let me tell you, if this was a Buck or a Kershaw or anything like that, they'd be quite a bit more. You know, they'd be at least, I would say at least $75 for that knife. So see if you can find one, you know. I think you'll be happy with it. And if you still want the D2 knife, which I think is a great deal, then these are once again available with an upgraded version like this one here. Well, folks, time to close out the video. Thanks a lot for coming along. I do appreciate it very much. Hopefully you got some useful information about these knives. Remember, if you're an outdoorsman, you need a good knife. I just find these deals and try to share them with you guys. So if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, whatever you enjoy doing in the outdoors, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And until next time, remember, hit that like button, smash the bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this one will be coming your way. So until then, this is the Cumberland Outdoorsman wishing you well. Y'all take good care of yourselves and get out there and enjoy the great outdoors. I'll be seeing you.